What's up everyone, welcome back to Just Finish Coding. This is part 9 of our full Pygame course on Python, so let's get coding.
Just finished coding.
Now quick interjection here, if you've not watched parts 1 to 8, please watch them before you come here because we're picking up from where we left off and you'll be very lost. I'll leave a card for you right here. Please watch the videos and then come right back. If you're still here, I'm going to assume that you've watched parts 1 to 9, in which case you'll be done with most of your game. And in this video, we'll be covering the explosion sprite as well as, the end screen and the transition into the next level. Let's get right into it. So first I want to fix up certain things with respect to our explosion sprite, which is down below. And I want to change the costume just to let it go on until costume 8. Because for some reason, costume 9, although I set it to be a transparent costume, it just shows up as a white square, which I don't really want it to show it that way in the game. So make sure you have just while costume is less than 9. And now what I want to do is to make up an explosion object. So if I want to use all those methods, I do need an object. So that's what I'm going to do. Right after, the starfighter object, and it's important to do it after and not before because we're using attributes from the starfighter object. So I'll do it before this, clock object which we created here. So I'm going to say explosion with a lowercase letter e. Explosion equals explosion followed by an open close brackets, and that's pretty much it. And now we can call the methods associated with the explosion, and we were calling that when the zombie hit the starfighter. So I'm going to head over to the starfighter, and this is the particular method where we check for the collision. And after we delete that particular zombie, what I'm going to do is to just say explosion, follow that up with an animate. So explosion dot animate, and once again we don't have to enter in any values, and that's pretty much it. So now when we do run the program, you should be able to notice that whenever one of these guys comes and touches our starfighter, our health decreases, and finally we also have an explosion. Obviously the program doesn't stop because we haven't programmed it to do it that way. But anyway, since we have our explosion, that's already a milestone. Now you probably noticed all those deprecation warnings a long time ago, and what I want to do before I get into some more code is to fix all of them. So I'm going to head over first to the starfighter, and here wherever we have the draw function, what I'm going to do is instead of going to self.x, I'm going to say round self.x followed by self.y. Alternatively, you can also do this where you round the self.x where we first declare it. So I think we do it right down below here where we move it. Yep, here we are. So this is our zombie, I think. Okay, let me do it for the zombie first. So right here, I'm going to say round and put those two things within parentheses. And also here, I'm going to say round and put those two things in parentheses. All right. Now this would be set up for our zombies. And for some reason, I think our health bar also had some deprecation warnings. So I will be fixing that right now. I'm going to scroll up towards our health width because I think that's the first cause where we have this entire rounding off which we don't do, and that should be right here. So what I'm going to do is just say round self.width divided by self.health, and yep, that is pretty much all we need. So once you have that in place, you shouldn't really need anything beyond that, and you should have sorted out your deprecation warning. Alright, I'm going to press the A key. And despite me moving, yep, you can see we don't have any deprecation warnings anymore. Now you might notice that the zombies flicker a little bit, and I'm entirely not sure why that's the case. It's probably because they just move a little bit too fast, and Pygame makes some small miscalculation. I'm not entirely sure. Just don't worry too much about that. So once you're done with all of these rounding off stuff, then what you can do now is to find some way to put an end to the level when we reach 0 basically. We'll get into how we turn the end screens in a little bit later, but first let's have the levels in place. So scroll down below to right after your event, and here's what you need to do. Leave a couple of lines before you have this level text. You print or not print, actually split the level text on the screen, and here you want to first check if the timer has been set if the timer is 0 right now. So if timer sec equals 0, in this case the timer has run out, and now you first need to check the level, because if the level is either 1, 2 or 3, then what you need to do is to move on to the next level with a smooth transition or whatever you have, which is what we're going to be doing now. But if the level is 4, then what we'll have to do is to move on to the end screen. So first I'm going to say if level is not equal to 4. So this we'll be doing for levels 1, 2 and 3. And what I'll be saying is first delete all of the zombies and the bullets on the screen, because we don't want anything when the timer is 0. So I'm going to say bullets dot clear. And bullets, you might notice, is the name of our list where we had all of our bullet objects. And just with this one command, we can delete all of those objects instead of having, for b in bullets, del bullets or bullets.pop or whatever way we're deleting that bullet. This command alone will delete all the items in a list regardless of what's in the list. And in this case, it works out very conveniently because all we have in the list are our bullet objects. I'll do a similar thing for the zombies. I'll just say zombies.clear. And these two lines of code will make sure that everything on the screen is cleared with the exception of the starfighter and the background. After you're done with this, it's important to move on to the next level. So I'm going to say level plus equal 1. And I'm not sure if I called it level or something else. I think I did call it level. Let me just search and find out. So not find a level. And okay, no, I'm not entirely sure if we had that. Level font. Oh yeah, we had level here. Alright, never mind. So that was perfect. So now I can scroll down right below. And I think I lost my line of code. Okay, yeah, here we are. So after this, it's important to note that once we have changed the level, we might want to increase the speed of the starfighter a little bit. But since we're using, this entire clock dot tick with a pretty high frame rate, our level, even, a small amount of speed increase after every level would be pretty substantial. So what I'm going to say is if level is now equal to 3, because I want to change it at the end of the second level and we've just incremented the level. In this case, I'm going to say starfighter.well plus equal 2. But if this is not the case, I'm not going to, not 2, actually 1. If this is not the case, I'm not going to increment the velocity, as I think that that velocity of the starfighter itself is enough. Now we need a new font that will display the level complete message. So I'm going to scroll back up right here where we had all the fonts, and I'm going to say level up font, and this is going to be pretty much the same thing, but we'll be changing the fonts a little bit. So I'm going to say p.sysfont.sysfont, and the font is going to be Calibri. Probably heard of that. And after that, I'm going to set the size to be 60. So I want it to be pretty big. And bold, once again, I'll set it to be true. Alright, so now I'm going to scroll down right below. And here I'm going to say font.render. So I'm not within the if, actually outside the if. So level up font.render. I think I called it font. Okay, let me just use a Control R and replace it. Font, and let me replace it with font. Alright, replace all. Perfect. And yeah, there we go. And after that, I'm going to say level up font dot render, and self, we can leave that as it is, and the text is going to be level up in all capital, and the anti-alias, I'll just leave it as 1. Don't worry too much about that. The color is going to be green, and we defined it earlier, and we're going to leave the background as none. So this will be our font. But it's important to know that we also have to blit it at the correct location. So I'm going to say win.blit, and I'm going to follow this up by saying level font, level up font, and actually just hold on for a second. But you need to set this up to be a variable. So I'm going to say level up font, no, level up text, that's what I'm going to call it. Level up underscore text is equal to this. And here I'm just going to say level up underscore text. Alright, and that is it. That's all we need. This will blit it, but we also need to update the screen to make sure we actually get to see this. So I'm going to say p.display.update, and this will update the screen, and we will be able to see this rectangle. And I'm actually going to add in a small time lag here. So I'm going to say time.sleep for 3 seconds. Alright, and that is pretty much all you'll need. Okay, I just tried to run my program and I realized that I had made a small error here and I hadn't entered in the position. So I'm just going to say enter in at 100, 200, but you can change this depending on where you want the text to come up. And this alone would be enough to have, your output for all these three levels. But if this is not the case, and if the level is not 1, 2, or 3 and the level is 4, then I'm going to do similar things first. I'm going to say bullets.clear, then I'm going to say zombies.clear, but I'm going to leave it right here. I'm not going to get into more on how we're going to complete the level and go to the end screen. But what I will do before I wind up with this video is to change a little bit of our zombie code. So right here you can see if stage is 1, then set well to 4. And what I'll do here is say instead elif. I'm actually going to have the same velocity for stage 1 or stage 2. May seem kind of strange, but actually let me set the velocity to be 4 point. No, I'll just leave it at 4. So I'll set it to be this in case stage is either 1 or it's 2. This means that the level would be same on level 1 and level 2, but anyway, who's going to notice? Elif, stage is 3, then we will be increasing our speed by 1. So elif stage equal 3, then change well by 1. So I'm going to say self.well is equal to 5, and maybe we'll make the fourth stage the hardest. So else we'll be setting well to be 6. Okay, self.well equals 6. So yeah, that is pretty much going to be it, and I think the game would still be winnable, although the zombies will be coming pretty fast. And yeah, that is all we'll be doing now. We did quite a bit, and we made sure that the explosion and stuff worked out. And in the next two videos, we'll be finishing up with both the end screens as well as the sound effects and the music for our game. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.